Hello everyone, this is Lori Mueller with StampinDreams.com. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Lincoln, Nebraska, coming to you with fun, easy, and reproducible projects. And today's is no different, but it is an unusual one and one that you would not think that would work, or that you might be a little fearful to even try. But that's a good thing. So I will share with you that it is super easy and that you don't have to be afraid to give it a try. So welcome everyone. So glad to see you. Hi Julie, hi Jackie. Oh my gosh, I am just running crazy trying to catch up with everything after my Alzheimer's fundraiser retreat. I had a stamp and scrapbook, the longest day for Alzheimer's fundraiser retreat. And since then, I have just been running 100 miles an hour, it seems, trying to pick up the pieces, still trying to organize my craft room and sort through some retired products and get that ready for a future BOGO. And the yard work, I had a lot of weeds, and then helping take care of my mother-in-law. So it just seems like it's, and then I cannot forget the most important, my oldest daughter is getting married, and that is in just a few months, and trying to finalize all the details on that. So I'm just going crazy. So I have, thank heavens, my stamping to keep me sane. This is what I will concentrate in the evenings when it's peaceful, quiet, everyone's in bed, and I just have me, my colors, my cardstock, my tools to play with. And it is awesome. Oh my gosh. Although I get pretty tuckered out that I don't get myself to stay up for very long, so I don't get a whole lot accomplished because my dreams, sometimes I struggle to get them out into paper, but when I do, it's like, oh, the light bulb comes on and I wonder what took me so long. So welcome. Hi Mary, hi DCNC and Linda. So glad to have you here with me on your Sunday afternoon. I have a fun project. It is going to be not necessarily that it has to focus on this one, but the Turtle Friends stamp set. It was one of the first choices that I picked out from the annual catalog. It comes with a corresponding punch for the bigger turtle, but it is so stinking cute. And today's project, I don't know how many of you are readers. I know my sister and my mom, they are big readers. And once they start into a novel, they struggle to put it down. It's kind of like me and my stamping. I struggle to put it away or put it down or leave my stamping location. They struggle to put a book down. Me, I am a slow reader, thus the turtle. But I am so excited to share with you a project that goes with a book. So for you book readers, you're gonna love this one. Using the Tailor made dies, some of the peach designer series paper, which on Stampin' Up! News is on sale for 15% off. It's normally $11.50, but you can get it for $9.78. So it is super cool to use our designer series paper in another way outside of scrapbooking, card making, 3D boxes, or home decor. This one's going to be a fun project that you're just going to love, and you'll be able to admire it while you're reading your book. Now, whether you can split your mind to pay attention to the project or read your book, that might be another thing coming. But on that note, I'm coming to you from Lincoln, Nebraska. It's sunny. It's about 75 degrees, which is unheard of at this time. We've had some major storms come through. In fact, a town that is 50 miles from me, they've been without electricity since Friday night. So I'm guessing possibly we had high winds, about 95 miles an hour in a lot of areas, huge chunks of hail came down, and so there might have even been some mini twisters that came through. So they have been without power for a couple days. So thank heavens for the nice weather, that they aren't scorching inside their home as well as outside. It's decent weather to sleep in with the windows open, but to be without power is just, yeah, it's crazy. So anyway, let's get started with our project. I can't wait to share it. All right, so let's flip us down and we will reveal here my little project. So as I mentioned, we're using the Turtle Friends stamp set. It is a photopolymer. And I don't know if you've noticed with your photopolymer that the images for the stamps are on the inside. They're printed on the inside of the back cover of the case sleeve, so that when you are done using them, you can affix them directly to the case versus inside of here. The reason for this change is that the print of our images used to be on one of these clear plastic sleeves, and as a way of reducing cost for production, and also there was something within this plastic that has changed due to, I believe it was some sort of makeup of this material from, I want to say, the Texas area, that had caused for the change. And so I really like that, you know, you can just take this. I've been putting them here as I use them, but if I just peel it from here and put it right there, then, you know, my images are not going to go away. And plus, I can still identify, since there's no print, you know, this is not printed on any of the plastic, I can still identify if I'm missing a stamp from this set. Now, granted, it's not see-through anymore from the back, which was kind of nice, but it's not, you know, going to kill the mindset or anything. But I do like that I can see if any of these images are missing, you know, once I remove them from this film to my case. And they stick, you know, they aren't going anywhere. And you could toss this if you wanted. You know, you just won't hear the clank inside, you know, to determine if it's still in there. And then these were just extra pieces from a card swap that I was preparing, so I didn't want to toss them because I just stamped a few extras, which is okay. So this is the stamp set we're going to be using. Now it does come with a coordinating punch, the turtle punch, if you can see that without the glare, maybe the glare there. It is super stinking cute. And these little dots are, I mean, they're really tiny, but that dot there and then this dot right here are to make up the eyeballs on your punched out turtle. So don't but you can use those for other things. You know, maybe if you don't have a hole punch, you can use this to create a tag, or, you know, in the corner of a tag or something, or threading some ribbon through an area, maybe another die cut that you can slip in and make a hole punch that direction as well. So that can be used in another fashion other than eyeballs. So you're going to find this bundle in our annual catalog on page 56, and the bundle is $30.50. It's a 10% off discount. So normally the if you purchased each of these individually, it would actually cost you $34. So you're saving $3.50, which is a great savings in and of itself. But there's lots of samples on this page. Oh, super cute. Love it, love it. All right, so we are also going to be using the tailor-made tags. I love these, and particularly I'm using this one. I went with it because it's a little bit wider than this design, although I do really like the scallop of this particular one. Let me bring that up closer. I love the scallop on that one. But, and you could still do my project with this one as well, and you could use it with larger dies, but I'm going to go with a little bit smaller today and bring in. So I had gotten this book as a gift from Stampin' Up! For registering for an upcoming training convention that is going to be virtual. So I was one of the I don't know, like first 100 that had registered. So I haven't, as I mentioned, I haven't gotten very far. In fact, maybe I'm still at the introduction, but I've made myself a little bookmark like that. So how cute is that? It's made of refrigerator magnets, and it, does clamp together. And I did, you see that stitching on there? I did run it through my Big Shot. Not my Big Shot, my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So I did run that. So those are the original stitchings on the magnet that I've run through. Now the exception, this one I only did the designer paper and then adhered it with liquid glue on the opposite side, but I did want the true indentations and the true stitching on the outside to really give it the true effect of it. And then I gave it a little bit of support with the center die, this one right there. You can cut out 3 of them at a time, and then I attached it with some of our really pretty crinkled seam binding ribbon. Now this ribbon can be colored with our Stampin' Blends, so if you were wanting to coordinate with another designer series paper, you could easily use your blends to color in that ribbon and make it however. And then my turtle is stamped, and this one is hand cut because it's the mini turtle right here. There's 2 little ones right there, and of course I went with one that has the eyes open. And to me, the turtle is representative of a slow reader, but you don't have to think of it that way. Now I did add a little bit of dimension on the hump of the turtle, and I stamped the small image in Sahara sand onto old olive, and then just cut it out and popped it up just to give it a little bit of dimension and character to the whole project. Now this one, I said I did use the smallest of the dies for this particular one, but it does clamp together, and there it is. Now it's clamped and won't remove itself, except for I think I'm going through more than, I've got too many pages in there. There we go. Now it's nice and secure. See, it's not going to go anywhere. But all I used was some old refrigerator magnets. How many of you have some old refrigerator magnets that, a realtor had given you in a piece of mail, or that you picked up at a county fair or a state fair, and they're no more relevant? So for instance, this one was one that we had gotten in the mail back in 2017, and it's been on my fridge, kind of hidden under some other papers. So I thought I would clean out and cut up the pieces and create some little magnets. I thought some bookmarks would be kind of cute for all my readers out there, my my mom, my sister, any customers, friends who all love to read. I know I've got a number of downline or team members who are part of book clubs. So this would be a great project that you could make for all your book club members. So super cute. So I've already I already cut up my magnet and into the pieces that I need. And the one thing that is important, because I'm going to bring in and add my designer paper directly to my magnet. I'm just going to glue it on there. But the one thing that you want to remember is how your magnet is going to actually work. So if you put your pattern, and I already did the die cutting for the inside, but let's say I had this one and that this one was intended to be the outside, or the inside, sorry, if it was intended to be the inside, these aren't going to clamp together. So you want to make certain that before you start die cutting, figure out how your magnet is going to attract to each other. And then you can determine which ones are going to be your outside. So this is my outside, and then this is my outside, and then I had the polka dot as my inside. So you want to make certain that if you, whatever you want for your outsides, that it's going to actually work, you know, as a magnet together to display as you intended. Okay, and then as I mentioned, I already did the die cutting of this die that will glue on the inside when I have finished putting that together. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and attach this, and I used liquid glue. I was afraid to use tear and tape for several reasons. I didn't know how much of it would. Okay, come on. This is going to come out on me like crazy, I can tell. Because I only want, if I squeeze, I know this is going to come out like crazy. It's going to plop on. There we go. I feel it coming. It's got a little, there we go. See, just like that. I knew it was going to come running out of there. But on that, I am going to close that up. And I can just use my other sheet like this to transfer some of this glue to each other. There. I'll share the wealth. There we go. And then I'm going to attach it to my magnet. Now, to avoid liquid glue, if you wanted, I know you can get magnet sheets that are self-adhesive. I've gotten them from Hobby Lobby, and in fact that's what I use for my dies. I just use self-adhesive, or it's not self-adhesive, it's got a layer that you can peel away and adhere to that cardstock piece. So you could use that as well, and then just adhere your designer series paper to it. And so I'm going to let this dry just a little. I don't think it's not going to take very long, because we are going to stamp our turtle using Memento ink. Onto Old Olive. And I chose Old Olive because that was part of the color palette for the Peach Designer Series paper. All right, so I'm going to ink up my little turtle. I am going to stamp him or her here. All right, and then I'm going to ink up the shell of the turtle using Sahara sand. Now, the one thing about this turtle back is that it doesn't take a lot of pressure. So the shell pieces right here, if you press really hard and you've gotten ink in between these lines, it does transfer fairly easy. So let's see if I, because I basically barely touch the weight of that shell. And there we go. So, because if I do it, let's do it on the reverse side. If I go really hard or heavy, if I stamp really heavy, see how the lines fill in with the ink? So you have to go with a light touch when you're inking up this shell. Okay, hope that makes sense. But I think it's because if your pad is really juicy, it'll, you know, like squish into those edges, and then it ends up transferring depending on the weight that you add to your the shell part. Okay, so now this part is going to take me a little bit of time to cut out. So I'm hoping that everyone is doing well. If you are part of any storms that have come through, I hope that you are in good shape. Not a whole lot of damage. I know Elsa was a big concern. I don't know, I haven't heard any results of Elsa, but I haven't had the TV going either. So if anybody is from that area, or if you've heard the news, I would love to get an update. You can be my news anchor for me. But yeah, I know they were talking that hurricane season is coming just a little bit earlier. I guess I don't pay attention too much about the arrivals of these hurricanes. I just know when they're going to strike and the general vicinity of where they're going to hit. But I've had tornadoes around me, but I've never had a hurricane. Blizzards, lots and lots of blizzards I've experienced. But yeah, I would hate to be a part of a hurricane preparation, because those are, you know, devastating just as much as tornadoes that we get in our area. So what I'm doing with my little turtle is I'm just giving him a little bit of a halo. So I'm not cutting directly on the line. I'm just kind of going around it. And I got a little choppy on that, so I'll smooth that out a little bit. So we have our little turtle. And now we are going to cut out the shell. And I am going to kind of sink in a little bit where each one of the shell compartments are, I guess. I don't know how else you would call them. And then, oh, Holly, have you had any experience with a hurricane? I thought you were up north for some reason, but maybe I'm thinking of a different Holly. But yeah, maybe you've got family that live in Hurricane Alley. I know we have a number of friends that live in the Florida, all over the Florida, and then North Carolina area as well. So, all right, now to add a little dimension, I brought in my black mini dimensionals, and I'm gonna add it to the back of my little turtle. He's so cute. All right. Oh, Elsa went over Prince George, Virginia, but she wasn't kicking like she was when she... Oh my gosh. So that's a good thing, huh, Linda? That it sounds like it wasn't as devastating. Oh, thank heavens. Okay, so we're going to die cut these out now. And here's where you might be a little fearful of running this thickness, because, you know, we're adding a magnet. It's, you know, not an expensive, really thick, but it does add some thickness to your sandwich. And I'm just going to lay it on top. And I'm going to go at an angle because I want to reduce my speed bump that goes through there. And so I've got my regular sandwich. I should tell you, I have my 1, 2, 3 plate. I have the magnet with the one sheet of designer paper, and then my die. And we're going to run this through. and it doesn't even give me a whole lot of extra pressure, but I do want to come back through, and then we're going to see if it let go. Yeah, so I'm going to run it through one more time, and oops, grab hold and run it one, and then come on back. And this one I know went through, I can tell already. So now I can just peel away the magnet that's surrounding the die, just like that. And then this pops out, and then I can just, it actually die cuts this little hole out as well, like that. And that is using our die. Isn't that cute? Love, love, love. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and die cut the next one the same way that I did the first one. And I'm telling you guys, you are going to be hooked at making these, and you can make them any size. Depending on how big your book is, or maybe you're taking things on a trip that you don't want to lose. Not that it's going to keep it together like a paper clip, but maybe you just want to flag something with your group of papers. And it makes a cute little flag. All right, so I'm going to peel this. So if I take this off, it's just a matter of, it doesn't die cut, it doesn't show it all the way through, but you can see the impressions where it's heavier. But I'm just kind of peeling it away, kind of like it's a sticker that is just waiting for me to peel away from this page. So, all right, take that out of there, and then that's what I'm left with. And there's no damage to my die. Still gonna run through and cut some cardstock or designer paper or whatever. So I have these two. Let's see, I did have my other, oh, there we go. So I had those, but I did forget to run that through. So I'll show you that this will add a little bit of color to my project. And we're going to scoot this up a little bit higher so we don't have as much to wheel through the machine. Okay, grab, there we go. And quick and easy, just like that. Oh, see, there's one right there. All right, and then to take out the other two, I'll use my take your pick tool. Makes it quick and easy. And then you've got a nice set of tab reinforcers that I'm going to add onto the outside. And so you can see how they've clamped together. They found each other once again. All right, I'm going to use my liquid glue. There, now it's behaving nicely. It always behaves nicely when I'm not with the camera. But as soon as I want to film something, then it never wants to come out very nicely. It just wants to give me a little bit of a headache. Kind of like taking a little child to the grocery store. They're behaving when they're in the vehicle, but then the minute they walk into the grocery store, it's like, ah! They don't want to sit still. All right, so now I've already pre-cut these, and I'm just going to adhere them to the outside or the opposite side of my magnet. And I am going to go as close to the edge and down the center just to eliminate it from getting caught on something that would lift it off. Now, I have not had any of my papers come off, like fall off because of the type of glue I'm using. I think, this liquid glue is pretty permanent. So, and then I just line it up. like that. Cover as much of the opposite side. And then give it a nice little press down the side. Super cute. So those are going to, uh-oh, there for a minute I thought my electricity was going out. I hope everyone's still there. Seems like it's giving me a little bit of a headache here. So you can see with the added designer paper that they still clamp together. So we are going to adhere our turtle directly to the one side. You can choose whatever side you want. This one's got a little texture from what was on my cutting plate. Maybe we'll use that one. And I'm going to add adhesive all over his body. And add it to my tag. Yay. And then I'm just going to tie the two together using this beautiful crinkled ribbon. You can use any ribbon. You can use linen thread. Oh, maybe I can't get it to reach through like that. There we go. And then give it a little bit of a, oh, I'm at the end of my spool here. It's a good thing I brought another, oh, here, let's just, there we go. Now, there we go. And then I'm going to come around this way because I want to have my, yay. Oh, it's coming out so cute. Oop. Somehow I twisted my ribbon. Ah, okay, come on. I'm going to come around this way. My loop was all twisted and it was just easier to undo it. There we go. And now this one you could leave longer tails if you wanted. And then snip off. Like that. And there you have it. Bookmark number 2. Oh my gosh. Now, you can have shorter tails or you can have longer tails. However, it's all up to you. And then, you bring in your book. And these magnets are just weight enough that one, and this page is pretty thick. So I know some romance novels, their paper seems to be a little bit thicker or thinner. So, you can keep that and then it'll keep it from falling out. But so cute. What do you think? So like I said, you could use, and I chose the tags to try this with because of the automated hole that it's creating. Now, like I said, you could use a different die cut of any sorts, and then the only difference is that you wouldn't be able to punch a hole through the magnet. So I would not put any magnets in your punch to get a hole, okay? Because I'm certain that this is not of a strength to cut through a magnet, so do not break. That would be one fear that I would have, that it would break your punch. But with this already being a die cut, it just seemed to be a perfect little idea to create your bookmark. But of course, just imagine that, you could have larger bookmarks versus these little ones. Maybe these could go for little kids, or, maybe you like little. But these dies are just, the perfect match for this type of project. And you could put flowers on here. You could, use any of your other stamps that you've got already. As I mentioned, I went with the turtles because of reading and my slow comprehension of what I'm interpreting. Unless it's really super exciting, then I can read like a madwoman. But otherwise, that's my project for today. So just to give you a close-up of these. So cute. And look at the detail of the stitching in the tag, right? Love, love, love. All right, so let's flip back. And hear what you had to think. So what did you think? Tell me if you enjoyed this project, if it's something that you're going to give it a try. You could try any of the dies, but if you are wanting to create a whole to do something similar to with the Tailor made dies, then you may have to use like one of our old, it had like a hammer and chisel type hole maker, or you can make these as new, refreshed refrigerator magnets. You wouldn't have to worry about a hole. Just use any of our dies that are made into labels or little patterns of some sort. You can take those old magnets that you've had kind of shoved to the side of your refrigerator, dress them up with some designer series paper on one side, and add some flowers or whatever, and you've got a new style of a magnet that is beautiful to hold up any pictures or notes or anything that you need to see first and foremost. So, but I am so excited that you joined me. This is Lori Mueller with StampinDreams.com, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Lincoln, Nebraska. I'd love it if you would give me some love. Go to my Facebook business page and subscribe or like and follow me. I also have a YouTube channel that I have been uploading my videos to. So if you could subscribe there, anything to help my business along and to meet new friends, that makes our community even bigger and brighter. So I am so happy for those that have shared my project with others, and that I've been able to build friendships over the years. So thank you so much for that, and I will look forward to seeing you next Sunday. Have a great one, everyone. Bye.